Ninth, federal government takes steps to achieve efficiency in pension administration. Ewu community seeks maintenance of status quo in kingship for peace to reign. Plus, organizers of religious programs in Benin promises greater outcomes for participants. Very good evening to you and welcome to Nta Benin Main News. I am Joy Egbo. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's historic state visit to the United Kingdom has set a new tone for Nigeria's global economic diplomacy with the signing of several landmark trade and investment agreements. The high-level confirmations between UK and Nigeria, guests on Good Morning Nigeria reaffirmed mutual confidence in Nigeria's reform trajectory under the renewed hope agenda. Lydia Sampson reports.
They are on the same page that the visit not only strengthened bilateral ties, but also positioned Nigeria as a key investment destination in Africa. Particularly significant are commitment on infrastructural upgrades such as the Apapa port modernization and strategic partnerships in Nigeria's dairy production value chain. These initiatives are expected to generate thousands of jobs, expand non-oil export capacity, and stimulate broad-based economic growth.
The United Kingdom remains a very strategic trading partner for Nigeria. This state visit is a historic one, as we all know, but what does it mean in terms of economic development for Nigeria? It speaks to job creation, it speaks to expanded market access, it speaks to industrialization, technology transfer. It fits in line with Mr. President's renewed hope agenda, diversification of the economy, and the enhanced trade and investment partnership that we signed with the UK in 2024.
Also central to the discussions are frameworks to enhance trade, deepen capital flow, and establish clear timelines for joint implementation mechanism to monitor agreed outcomes.
So I'm very confident that the government will go the whole hog in trying to implement some of these agreements or deals that have been entered.
A lot of follow-up mechanism will be required if we're going to sustain this momentum from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, from the Ministry of Trade, from all MDAs and private sector.
They are optimistic that by projecting Nigeria as investable and open for business, President Tinubu's visit underlines a decisive shift towards expanding Nigeria's economic footprint globally, sustaining momentum through coordinated follow-up and transparent execution. The emphasis is crucial to translating these historic agreements into tangible and lasting gains for Nigerians. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And now to matters of public concern. Different age groups converged at different locations in Ewu community, protesting over the forceful claim of the kingship of Ewu Kingdom by Prince Jafaru Isesele Ojefo, one of the uncles of the paramount ruler of Ewu Kingdom, His Royal Highness Razak Isesele Ojefo III, the Onoje of Ewu Kingdom. Correspondent Sylvester Imokwade reports that the protesters say the development is capable of causing unrest in the community if not addressed on time. Report.
Community known for peace and agro production is almost losing its grip on the peace and sustained development it has enjoyed over the years, following the kingship tussle between the traditional ruler who has been on the throne since the past 29 years, His Royal Highness Razak Isesele Ojefo III, who is the first male child of his father before his death, and his uncle Prince Jafaru Isesele Ojefo, who is laying claims to the throne despite the traditional ruler His Royal Highness Razak Ojefo III has met all traditional rights and obligations. This development has led to unrest within the community as youths in the area stage a peaceful protest around major streets in Ewu community, carrying placards and chanting songs demanding that their traditional ruler, His Royal Highness Razak Isesile Ojefo III, should be allowed to lead his people.
Sounding that belief and unionism and resolute of Ewu people in believing on Barrister Alhaji Abdulrazak Isesile Yusuf Ojefo III, the origin of Ewu.
The Odewale of Ewu community, Elder Isaac Esegbe, and some chiefs in the community said Prince Jafaru Ojefo is laying false claims on the throne, adding that by birth and tradition of Ewu community, His Royal Highness Razak Isesile Ojefo III is the rightful occupant to the throne. They called on the Edo State government to save Ewu community from those that wish to distort the peace already existing within the community.
Kingmakers have already made him king 29 years ago, and nobody is going to change that that king. And that king is Abdulrazak Ojefo III. Kings are born, kings are made, kings are not selected, and I'm representing that tradition person, which is the kingmaker of Ewu today. And as of today, I only want to enlighten the public that Abdulrazak is our king.
Observers are of the opinion that for peace, progress and stability to be maintained in Ewu, the traditional authority be maintained. In Ewu, Sylvester Imon Kwede, NTA News.
And now to health. Nigeria has continued to grapple with deadly infectious diseases which occur in seasons and sporadically. Presently, Edo State is up against Lassa fever outbreak. Udwak Obong Achibok reports that key players speak on efforts to tackle the challenge and what can be done differently.
Since 1969, when Lassa fever was first recorded in Nigeria till now, it has been a recurring epidemic, creating problems for human beings. Edo State is among the states in the country that carries the highest burden of the disease.
Iroa Specialty Teaching Hospital has been in the forefront. We have built our capacity in terms of diagnosis, case management, and preventive measures against Lassa fever.
What we normally do, we have spread our surveillance system across the state because we know the pattern of the presentation of the disease. It's not everywhere that you can test for Lassa. That is why we harness those samples and send to where they are being tested. And then when we get the result, we now know whether that patient is a Lassa positive patient or not. If he or she is, we immediately mobilize to evacuate that patient to the treatment center.
For a frontliner in the fight against Lassa fever in the state, Professor Dennis Agbonaho, it may be difficult to eradicate Lassa fever, which requires the needful to be done.
Apart from the fact that the vaccine for Lassa is under trial and they are already trying it in some other West African countries, I think that as soon as possible, people in endemic areas ought to be vaccinated once the vaccine is ready. In fact, in Nigeria, we should institute routine vaccination against Lassa once that vaccine is ready.
One other measure suggested is constant public enlightenment. In Benin, Udrakobong Achibong, NTA News.
You are watching Nta Benin main news at 7. We'll take a break. More reports won't come back.
Who they care for the people? Everybody show love. Where they do leader where they show love. Who they care for the people? Everybody shout out. Better they get oh. Better they get oh. When the matter, it they show. Rice and oil for festive time, oh. Rice and oil for festive Senator, yeah, yeah, oh. When you matter, it is show. When you matter, it is show. Rice and oil for festive time, oh. Rice and oil for festive Senator, yeah, yeah, oh. Right, celebrate, never they care, yeah. That true talk.
Nominate and re-elect Senator Nta Benin for Senate Edo South Senatorial District.
Congratulations to our very own senior pastor of House of Favor International Church, Benin City, Reverend Lucky Onaiwu, for your 61st birthday anniversary. On behalf of the pastors, ministers, and members of House of Favor International Church, Benin City, we say happy birthday. You are our role model, a mentor, and a father figure to us. Your generosity and humility are worthy of emulation. Your commitment and passion for the things of God inspire us all. As you celebrate your 61st birthday anniversary, we pray for God's wisdom, grace, and strength to do more in God's vineyard. Happy birthday, God's General. Signed, Pastor Solomon Adeshina, Resident Pastor, House of Favor International Church, Benin City.
Good Lord.
This March, Edo State University Yamo invites you to a week of excellence at the 7th Convocation Ceremony and the 10th Founders Day anniversary. The Vice Chancellor, Professor Victor Olawale Adetimiri, on behalf of the Governing Council, Senate, staff and students, cordially invite you to be part of history. Wednesday, 25th March 2026 at 2 p.m. Join us at the Alinko Dangote Auditorium for the 10th Founders Day lecture titled Reinventing Academic Traditions in Nigerian Universities, to be delivered by Professor Christopher B.N. Obubu, Vice Chancellor at Baramati University of Nigeria. Friday, 27th March 2026 at 3:30 p.m. The 7th Convocation Lecture holds titled Navigating Digital Temptations and Building Integrity in the Era of Cybercrimes, Ethics for Graduates in a Tech-Driven World, to be delivered by Dr. Stanley Jacobs, President, FinTech Association of Nigeria. And Saturday, 28th March 2026 at 11 a.m. the 7th Convocation Ceremony comes up, featuring award of graduate degrees, award of postgraduate degrees and diplomas, prize presentation, and more. Come as we celebrate excellence, integrity, and innovation at Edo State University. We develop leaders. Vincent Aragbe, Acting Registrar, Announcer.
Next time you visit the ancient city of Benin, two things will excite you: the warmth and welcome of its people, and of course, the class and style of its hospitality business. Rendeki Gold, home of hospitality like no other, located in one of the most serene environments in the ancient city, truly classy and exquisite with world-class facilities, fully equipped digital multipurpose hall with life-size, ultra-high definition LED screen, 180 square meters king-size swimming pool with bubble bath, enough to leave you breathless. The exotic Ariel's Bistro and Grill Restaurant with variety of continental dishes, especially some of the rarest delicacies you can find in town. Fact is, a visit will truly convince you that we are gold. Rendeki Gold is the gold wing of the prestigious Rendeki Royal Hotel at 6 Henry Street off Ihama and Boundary Roads, GRA Benin City. www.rendekihotels.com. Rendeki Gold, our hospitality is gold.
Welcome back. In another development, a federal high court in Abuja has convicted and sentenced former acting accountant general of the Federation, Anamekwe Nwabuoku, to 72 years imprisonment for money laundering. The presiding judge, Justice James Omotosho, gave the order on Monday, having found the defendant guilty in a 9-count charge filed against him by the Economic and Financial Crime Commission. Justice Omotosho held that the Economic and Financial Crime Commission has proved its case against Nwabwoko. Nwabwoko was arraigned on laundering and fraud to the tune of 868 million naira. He was granted bail in the sum of 500 million naira with 2 sureties and like sum advertisement. Nwabwoko was convicted on all 9 counts and sentenced to 8 years imprisonment on each count, amounting to a cumulative 72 years. The court, however, ordered that the sentences run concurrently. Omotosho described Nwabwoko's diversion of funds meant for security while serving as Director of Finance and Account of the Ministry of Defense as appalling. The judge also commended the EFCC for what he described as meticulous prosecution of the case. And moving on, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, has inaugurated the board of the National Pension Commission, PENCOM, in a move aimed at strengthening oversight and boosting confidence in Nigeria's pension system. The SGF said inaugurating the board underscores President Tinubu's administration's commitment to ensuring transparency, accountability, and improved welfare for retirees across the country. The newly appointed board members were tasked with enhancing regulatory efficiency and safeguarding pension funds. Members of the boards emphasized the need to expand pension coverage, particularly among workers in the informal sector, while also ensuring timely payment of benefits.
Distinguished members of the board, your mandate is very clear. You are to provide strategic direction, policy guidance, and effective oversight in accordance with the Pension Reform Act 2014 and other applicable frameworks. This is not a ceremonial responsibility. It is the governance mandate of national importance. You are expected to lead, to exercise sound judgment, and uphold the highest standards of accountability in all your decisions.
Until now, the SGF has provided the strategic leadership and he's done that with clarity and purpose, and that's what has led to the various achievements that we've had as PENCOM. What I expect from the board is for us to work collaboratively and to understand that we work for ordinary Nigerians to make sure that every single decision we take works in the benefit of ordinary Nigerians.
Our agenda is to help achieve the President's objective of using the pension system as a driver of national development.
Expected to drive reforms that will promote sustainable growth and stability within the pension industry. And now to education. The management of Edo State University Iyamo has held a Thanksgiving Mass as part of activities marking the 7th convocation ceremony of the university. Victor Odion Acha reports that the Mass, which held at the university's chaplaincy in the community, was attended by council members of the university.
A Thanksgiving service to kickstart the activities for the 7th convocation ceremony of Edo State University Iyamo has held at the St. Joseph Catholic Church Iyamo. The Thanksgiving Mass witnessed a large turnout of management and staff of the university, as well as council members led by the chairman, governing council, and pro-chancellor of the university, Professor Olusegun Akinyika, accompanied by the vice chancellor, Professor Victor Olawale Adetimirin, his wife, as well as other staff of the institution. In an homily, Reverend Father Peter Salio, who shared in the joyful moment, prayed for the continuous growth of the institution.
Who are being celebrated today? The world needs you ever more than before to come together for an academic purpose. The purpose in which you are being come together is to be sent into the world those who are concerned.
The celebrants, led by the university management, described the day as awesome.
Well, we're thinking that the university should grow to what we call the University of Consequence, where it should be number one, at least in the South-South zone of Nigeria. And then with time, we'll be able to go beyond that. But we want to see the university more visible globally in terms of academia, in terms of research.
Our university has made tremendous progress since the new council took over and since I was appointed Vice Chancellor by His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okwebolo. Tremendous progress we have made, and we have not even started. So I'm very, very happy. The way we are going, in another 4 years, 5.5 months or thereabout, we will be a force to reckon with in Nigeria in terms of the content of our education, in terms of our infrastructure. We're going to be setting new standards.
The convocation program, which is celebrated alongside the 10th Founders Day ceremony of the institution, is expected to continue with cocktail party on Monday. In Iyamo, Victor Odion Acha, NTA News.
And now to religious affairs. The General Overseer of Omega Fire Ministries International, Apostle Johnson Suleiman, has assured residents of Benin City of God's divine presence throughout the church's 2 days program in the city. The senior pastor gave the assurance when he arrived at the state capital this Monday. Rosemary Omani reports.
The senior pastor, Apostle Suleiman, arrived with his team ready for their program, tagged Wonders Without Number. He said the people should expect the move of God, which will leave every participant immensely blessed at the end.
We're expecting an outpouring of blessings. Anytime God's people gather, God sends His power, and the gospel is good news. We are here to elevate people, give them hope, and above all, agree with them that whatever battles, trials that they're going through, as we join our faith together these 2 days to pray, there will be a response from the throne of God.
The program holds at Omega Fire Ministries, Home of Champions, Plot 2 to 4, Wyatt Road, Aduawa, Benin City. It kicks off Monday 23 and ends Tuesday 24 March 2026.
If you are in a place, for example, you have an uncle, you have an auntie, you have somebody in America, you have somebody in Germany, you have somebody in UK, all of them send you money. That's not a testimony. You gather the money, you build a house, that's not a testimony. It's a testimony where you have built 2 houses in 6 months, yet you have nobody, you have no cousin. That's a testimony. Number 1, you must understand the law of contradiction. God said unto Elijah, I will send a raven, not just a bird, a raven. What is a raven? A raven is a stingy bird. When a raven sees a grain of rice, it takes it and runs away. It's a bird that does not spare. That was what God sent to feed Elijah, a stingy bird. That is who God is about to send to feed someone. A man that refused to help others, but he sees you and helps you.
In Benin, Rosemary Omani, NTA News.
Another break is now to stay with us.
Answer don't come for transformer wahala. Yes, so no more travel to buy transformer because who you technical Technica don bring all sizes of brand new electrical transformers, whether na 300 kVA, 500 kVA, different phases for community, streets, business places, church. In fact, anywhere you for need transformer. Hear this, so different concrete mixer don land for Uyi Technica, including poker vibrator for concrete, reamer for floor, tiller for agricultural use, heat transformer machine for stoning for Uyi Technica, different kind of sewing machine, boku, quality generators of different sizes, small or big Perkins and Mikano, all with quality spare parts, plus grinding machine, welding machine, pepper mill, and more. Come for brand new electrical transformer of different capacity, concrete mixers and more for Uyi Technica, 79, 81 and 83 Mission Road, Benin City, and all Uyi Technica branches. Uyi Technica, quality affordable products.
Leader where they do leader where they show love, who they care for the people, everybody show love. Leader where they do leader where they show love, who they care for the people, everybody shout out. Better they care, oh. Better they care, oh. When it matter, it they show. Rice and oil for festive time, oh. Rice and oil for festive time, oh. Better they care, oh. Better they care, oh. When it matter, it they show. When it matter, it they show. Rice and oil for festive time, oh. Rice and oil for festive time, oh. Right, celebrate, never they care, the truth talk.
Nominate and re-elect Senator Nta Benin for Senate Edo South Senatorial District.
Welcome back. And now to sports updates. Let's join Omoyenwe Onobo as guide.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria will begin their training camp in Atali and Turkey on Tuesday ahead of a reversed schedule of international friendlies. They are set to compete in a Four Nation tournament, opening against Iran on Friday, followed by a match against Jordan on March. Women's 100 meters hurdles, Toby Amonson opened her 2026 season with a second-place finish at the Velocity First in Jamaica, clocking 5 seconds. She trailed Ole Jamaica Stara, who won in 22.61 seconds, while another Jamaica, Akira Nugget, took third indoor championships in Poland. Nigerian shot putter Chukwuemeka Enikochi placed 11th out of 7 best throw of 20.04 meters, representing Nigeria at its sole competitor in the event. And lastly, in tennis, world number 1 Carlos Alcaraz suffered a surprise defeat to American Sebastian Korda 6-3, 5-7, 6-4 in the third round of the Miami Open, marking a career highlight victory for Korda. With sports updates, Omoyemi Unobo.
And sports update concludes our bulletin tonight. Thanks for watching. Good night.